Hi, I'm David and welcome to Leisure Bit, and today we're going to be fitting a light in the cupboard that automatically comes on when you open the door, triggered by this little pin switch here, and also a slide out mechanism for the coffee machine to make it easier to save the faff on of lifting the machine out, plugging it in and everything, and that's why we fitted the plug in the cupboard. So let's go and take a look at that now. And today we're going to be fitting a light which is operated by this little switch in the cupboard here, so we can see what's going on when you open the door. So you can obviously use the stick-on lights that we've looked at before, similar to one we've got in the washroom. I'll pop a link in the video description so that you can go and watch that one. They're easy enough, just stick them up and away you go, and they work on movement detection. The downside of those is you need to keep charging them up periodically. So I wanted a solution that when the power was on for the van, that you could actually open the cupboard, and by opening the cupboard it would release this switch that's compressed when it's closed, and then turn a little LED strip lamp on, which is this, which just got a 12-volt one and a bit of channel and a diffuser. You can pick up I'll pop links in the description to the sort of thing you might want to get hold of, but you can pick up the rolls of LED lights, quite reasonably priced. I just went for the cheaper ones because I don't need it to be super bright, and basically they come with self-adhesive backing, so just peel the backing off, and there's points on the strip where you can cut it, and you'll see it marked as we go along. It's normally where the two lines are there, so you can cut it about once every 2 to 3 centimeters. So just cut the right length for this. That's going to fit under here, and obviously with the diffuser on, and I'm going to fix that up there, and then that should stay nice and tight. I'm actually going to use a couple of small screws to fit it up, just to make sure it doesn't come away. And there's enough room at the side of here to fit them. Peel it back slightly before fitting the screws, and just drill a little pilot hole, and then it'll just screw up there. We then connect one of the wires to the switch, so the connections are there, pop it in the back, tighten it up, and the switch will just screw up there like so, and again that compresses when the door's shut. These were the type of switch I used to automatically detect when the door was open or closed. So let's get cracking. So I've drilled some pilot holes and put some 3mm by 12mm screws in, which should be adequate to hold it up. See that fitted there and screwed on now. Now we'll put the diffuser on. So there we fitted the diffuser, it just clips in along there. And then we've connected up the wires. So we have the red wire that comes from the light strip that connects into the switch. And then we have the wire that comes from the positive from the battery, basically the feed. I've got it wired up so it's actually working only when the power's on for the van. That just makes sure if the door's ever left open, we're not going to run the battery down. And then we've got the black wires or the negatives just connected together. So basically the power comes through the switch, power's on the light, and basically when the switch is depressed, the light goes out. And when you open the switch or open the door, then the light comes on. So keeps it nice and simple. I'll pop a link in the description where to get hold of the switch and other bits and pieces for this one. Tired of faffing around getting your coffee machine out? Check this out. We've bobbed a light in the cupboard so we can see what we're doing. Click the switch and out slides the coffee machine. And then when you're finished, click it and it slides away. So let's take a look at the coffee machine mechanism. So what I've done is I've mounted a piece of wood on a slider. Just got that, it was a couple of quid from Screwfix. And I mounted those on the 2 pieces of wood and then fastened it to the slide out board. So it slides in and out. And then underneath you can probably see there's a linear actuator. The linear actuator I've used is a 150mm one and runs on 12 volts. And if anyone knows anywhere you can get a linear actuator that will move out this far, so it's 10 to 15 centimetres movement I wanted, but I ended up having to get this one, which is a 3/4 of a ton one, so 750 kilograms, which will obviously almost lift the van up, never mind just moving out a little slide out. But to get one with that distance, this is the one I ended up getting. You've actually got the linear actuator and you can see the mechanism there, and there's the sliders which are just for drawers, and you can see the plug there that we installed last time. Check out the video if you haven't seen that one before. The switch I used was a double pole double toggle on off on switch. So the coffee machine just sits on the top. I've stuck it down with Velcro. When making the slide out board and the raise up part, I measured to make sure the coffee machine would fit. I wanted it lifted up a bit, but also to make sure there was enough space for the linear actuator. So we've got the switch connected up so that we've got the positive there from the power, and then a bridge to the other side of it. The other side of it's a 2-pole 3-way switch, so middle's off. That way takes it in, and the other way brings it out. So you can stop it at any point by moving it to the middle. We've got the 2 connections in the middle, connects to the linear actuator, and the 2 negatives, one there and one at the other side. So it basically reverses the polarity, because if you have it that way, it's moving it in, and the other way it brings it out. It does automatically stop, so you don't need to worry about switching it off, but if you need to stop it mid-flow, you can do that literally by just putting the switch in the center position. Again, I'll put links in the description so that you can find out more information on the parts that I've used here. I've stuck both the coffee machine and the frame for the actuator that fixes to the slider on with Velcro, because it allows me to take it out if need be and change it around. And again, I'm going to make a little faceplate for here, but just wanted to keep that so that I could show you how it's connected up, and then the switch will just mount in there. I do have a plan as part of camper control to change it to a push button, which will then sense if the door's open, so it doesn't automatically come out at any point if the switch got knocked. So we can pop the water in. That just clips on at the back here. To make a cuppa, we need a cup. We place under there. We open this up, lift it out, take the little for hot water out, so you can make tea or coffee in this one. If you're making tea, use the little plastic feeds through. You can use it without it. Pop the pod in. We can then adjust it. I'm going to go XL for this one, and then we press the button, and then away we go. There we go. It's making our fresh coffee for us. And this particular model, there's different ones. I had a previous one that didn't automatically stop, whereas this one you can actually set the level and it'll stop when you get to the required amount. You can select different amounts. You can see it kind of moving down there as it fills up the cup. And then when it gets to the point we've selected, it'll automatically stop. Nearly there. There we go. And if we want to top up a little bit more, we can again, if we want to adjust it, let's just pop a little bit more in so that we get the cup fully full. One of the benefits of this particular one is then we don't have to worry about leaving it, so we can pop and do something else while the coffee or the tea is being made. So there we go. Cheers. Delicious hot coffee without having to lift the machine out and put it on the top, plug it in and everything like that. The machine automatically switches itself off when it's finished, and to remove the pod you just lift it up and then pop that in the bin. So let's pop it away now. And we'll fit the little panel on that soon. That then tucks away like so. If you haven't seen the one on the cupboard shelves, check out the video. I'll pop a link in the description again below for that. Obviously, depending on the type of van you have, it may be a different setup, so hopefully the principle makes sense. Well, that saves a lot of faff on, and it'll work on either the inverter if you switch the inverter on, or it'll work on mains if you're plugged into the campsite hookup, or obviously plugged in at home on your driveway where you're feeding the power in. Shore power, I think some people call it. We'll cover that in another video as well. Got a little bit more information on that one as I've had a few questions about it, so watch this space over the next few weeks and you'll see the video around the automatic switchover, and also a video around putting mains in your camper van or motorhome, and just some different ideas of how you may wish to go about that depending on what you want to achieve. So that's the light in the cupboard. I might actually pop some more lights just down the side here just to light up this bottom section, because I tend to keep bottles and things in there. We can put various things to the side of it, just need to make sure it's clear of the mechanism when it's running through, and there's some space behind still as well to store things. That then sits nice and tightly there, so we don't have to worry when we're driving along. And that's the slide out coffee machine, the light in the cupboard that automatically switches off when we close the door by depressing that pin. I'll pop a link in the description below to where I got the bits and pieces from, in case you're interested in doing something similar. Or is it just me that wanted something like that? Who knows? Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!